On Treasuring Jesus, we've begun to look at the Old Testament book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk the prophet is frustrated by unanswered prayer. The fact is, he's going to be even more disturbed by the answer. We read in Habakkuk chapter 1 and from verse 5. Look among the nations and watch. Be utterly astounded, for I will work a work in your days which you would not believe, though it were told you. For indeed, I am raising up the Chaldeans, a bitter and hasty nation, which marches through the breadth of the earth, to possess dwelling places that are not theirs. They are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity proceed from themselves. Their horses also are swifter than leopards, more fierce than evening wolves. Their chargers charge ahead. Their cavalry comes from afar. They fly as the eagle that hastens to eat. They all come for violence. Their faces are set like the east wind. They gather captives like sand. They scoff at kings, and princes are scorned by them. They deride every stronghold, for they heap up earthen mounds and seize it. Then his mind changes, and he transgresses, and he commits offence, ascribing this power to his God. You see, God's answer here talks about, first of all, doing incredible things. It sounds so encouraging at the start. I'm going to work among the nations, and he says, Habakkuk, you are going to see it. It's going to be in your day. And Habakkuk would have been probably ready to say, along with the psalmist, this is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Godless nations are going to be impacted by what God does, but not in the way Habakkuk thought. The nation of Judah were going to be judged for their faithlessness and spiritual adultery. And God was going to use the Babylonians to do it. Surely not, Lord. Your own people, defeated by those who are heathen, godless, wicked. There are times when the answer God gives can be a bitter pill to swallow. But ultimately, he always has in mind our highest good. What you're going through at the moment is something perhaps you can't understand. But one thing you need to do is to look beyond it, to realize what God is planning further down the road. Many years ago, I heard about a missionary who was really disappointed with God when her monthly allowance failed to come through, and she was forced to exist on oatmeal and milk for a whole month. She was unable to buy the food that she normally was able to enjoy. And to make things worse, she was ill, and the entire month was a real struggle. But at the end of the 30 days, her usual allowance came through, and she was able then to eat as she normally did and become stronger. Back at home, she shared this experience at some deputation meetings, seeing it as a test and that the Lord had brought her through. After one of those meetings, a man came up to her and said, I'm a doctor. Can I ask what it was the ailment you were suffering from? And when she told him, he smiled. And he said, if your allowance had come through, you probably wouldn't be speaking to me now. What we normally prescribe for that ailment is a 30-day oatmeal diet. Folks, God is the one who knows the prescription that we need. Maybe sometimes his writing is difficult to decipher, but the remedy does its job. Keep trusting him.